Hey everyone, it's me, Doomlink. Welcome back to Let's Play The Legend of Zelda: The Wind Waker. This is of course the HD version of the game, and it is currently part 8. I am recording this on the 28th of November 2016. It's not too late at the moment, which is good, so I'm not like super tired. I might be within about an hour's time, but I don't know how long I'm actually going to be recording this time around. Might not be for too long, but we'll see. So I'm interested to see how this dungeon is actually going to pan out. I've got no idea. I don't know if they've made changes to the dungeon. I don't know if I can expect the exact same sort of dungeon to what I experienced in the original version of the game. We'll have to see. But anyway, oh, that really worked out well. I was trying to... Okay, I need to remember like what the target button is on this... well, I was going to call it a controller, but no, it's the gamepad. It is serving as my game controller, but, you know, calling it the gamepad would be best. Okay, what's going on with the damage that I'm doing to you guys? It's getting a bit silly. But anyway, come on. Okay, that's why I need to press the B button to strike. You know, it's funny, I'm really still not completely used to using the gamepad to play this game. It feels a little bit all over the place. I don't know. I'll get used to it eventually, I'm sure. But anyway, what we actually need to do for this room, I mean, there are two things that we can actually do that involves, like, secrets, I suppose. Like, one of them is... Wait, no. It seems that we can already access this return pot, okay. I thought that... Well, I guess we get access to this return pot already. Fair enough. I was thinking that we might have had to have burnt the lid of it, but apparently not. I don't believe that that was the case in the original game either, but, you know, I guess my memory of it was just a bit silly. Anyway, you got a small key. At least my memory of it is good enough for me to remember that it wasn't a part of the original game, that I needed to burn the top of that. I think, generally speaking, it might be the case that the first return pot that you come across in a dungeon does not actually require you to open it, so to speak. I mean, you can just go right ahead and access it, but there's no real reason for you to hop in it, because there's no other return pot for you to go to, so it would literally not achieve anything. Anyway, first and foremost, we want to just head off in this direction. If you are using this as a walkthrough, then, you know, by all means do what I do, you know. I'll be approaching this dungeon from the quickest direction, I suppose. I mean, I can't really think of a way to do the dungeon much faster than how I'm doing it. Just be careful that you don't get hit by this flaming pillar that's about to come up here. I'm at the very least just demonstrating the fact that it exists, you know. I don't exactly want you guys to do what I do, and that is, like, just cross the bridge as if, like, there's nothing there that's going to hurt you. I knew that it wasn't going to come up at that moment in time, but, oh, that's interesting. I haven't received an item ball from a Keese before. That's a bit random. But anyway, at least I don't think I've received an item ball from a Keese in the past. I really don't recall that happening before. Anyway, maybe it's a new thing in the HD version of the game. Maybe item balls just drop from normal enemies now. Usually you only get them from particularly strong enemies. For instance, the big pig guys, they drop item balls, and so do the... Can I make that jump? I don't have confidence in my ability to make that jump, so I'm just going to throw this down as well. That should be good enough. Quickly get on that before the lava destroys me. And by destroying me, I mean literally destroy me, because it'll burn me alive or just sink into the lava. Well, actually, the animation isn't you sinking into the lava, it's basically you just flying into the air with your ass on fire, which is a little bit more child-friendly than sinking into the lava and literally burning to death, I suppose, so I'm not going to fault the game for that. Anyway, you know, because sinking into the lava would not be a nice thing. I will mention that these guys do come down and try and give you a tough time. So you managed to hit me there. I keep on pressing the L button on my controller, on my gamepad I should say, to target. It's just really not working. It causes me to shift between my items and my map on my gamepad displays, so yeah. I think usually that there are two chew jellies, or two choo-choos. You see, between the term choo-choo and what they drop, chew jelly, I just always mix up their frickin' names. It's so annoying. Anyway, I really need to stop doing that. But yeah, I'm pretty sure in the original game 2 of them dropped down, but only 1 this time around. Fair enough. Something that I will mention in this game, well, I'll mention it now, but an aspect of this game that I think everyone should know is that it's really, really easy to actually get through the dungeons in this game. They're very quick, and the puzzles that are presented are not really that difficult to deal with, but anyway, let's pick this up. And we need to use the weapon of the moblin that we just attacked there to open that door. Now, of course, I'm getting confused between the whole A and B button at this point. It's still a little bit all over the place for me at the moment. I'll get used to it soon, hopefully, but yeah. Now, at this point, okay. Let's attack you there. I managed to get hit there. Anyway, we'll pick this up. And what we want to do is actually throw the weapon that way. There we go. So there's another one of these guys here. Two of them, actually. Just attack you there, and then I'll do that attack. That's interesting. I actually managed to, well, by that attack I of course mean the counter attack, but I actually managed to fly so high up in the air that I reached the next level that was in front of me, which is nice. So yeah, make sure that you get that small key. Please do not bypass it. Just because this door doesn't have a lock on it doesn't mean that you won't need that key in the future. You will need it, so make sure you get it. Otherwise you will have to backtrack to get it, and you'll be annoyed when you have to do that. Backtracking for keys is not a fun thing. Backtracking for keys you will never do, because, you know, you don't want to fight keys. They are annoying. So yeah, I misaimed that rock, regrettably. But yeah, if you're wondering how to actually trigger these, just throw a rock at them. Or shoot an arrow, but we don't have arrows at this point in the game. Anyway, usually you would shoot an arrow. Is there anything else that we can... I guess you can use the grappling hook too, but we don't have that yet either. We will be getting it soon though. As you can see, there is something right there that shows us what we can actually do with the grappling hook. We can grapple onto certain objects, and that is one of those certain objects positioned right there above us, but well, kind of. I say above us, it wasn't really above us at that point, but it's kind of in that field of vision, sort of upwards, so I guess above in one sense of the word. But anyway, we can just attack this with our normal sword, and there will be a moblin coming out here, and we do want his weapon, of course, because it's going to be one of those weapons that we can light on fire. I knew you weren't dead. I don't know why it takes so many hits to kill you. Like, what's the deal with that? I thought strong attacks were strong, or jump attacks were strong, I should say. Anyway, let's go roll over here, get this rupee, and then we will pick up this, light this, light that on fire. Once again, I can't help but get confused between the A and the B button in this game, like in terms of how they're used. It's just really kind of confusing me at this point, but anyway. Let us now go outside, and it's a nice scenery change. I do like this. Be careful when you're fighting this guy. He might be a bit difficult when we're on the bridge here like this. Try not to hit the... well, what I was just destroying there. Make sure that you don't destroy too many of them. You don't need to cut every single one of them for that bridge to fall. That is a good thing to mention. Some people are under the misconception that you do need to cut every single one of those for the bridge to fall. That is not true. And you can also see the effective range of that fire blast by seeing the change in the coloration of the ladder. But the darker portion is where the fire actually is visible. I say is visible because, look, I actually meant that the lightning outside is visible to me. There is actually lightning outside at the moment, and I just saw it. See, like, I'm literally confusing what I was thinking in my head to what I was actually saying on camera about something totally unrelated. So that's a funny thing. But yeah, the thunder is kind of visible outside, and I was going to mention it, but because I was both taking note of that fact in my head and also thinking that I wanted to say it, I ended up just, you know, confusing myself in my mind. I'm confusing my mind brain, you see. Anyway, let's throw a bomb over there, and that will destroy that rock. Easy done. Now we will go through this door, and we are slowly but surely getting towards the mini-boss of this area, which will actually involve rescuing a certain someone who we will be eternally devoted to in the future. But anyway, well, we are still eternally devoted to her, we just don't know it yet. Link just doesn't realise how special she is, but anyway, I'm sure you all know who I'm referring to. God damn it. Link, have you seen any filthy thieving rats around? I mean, that's a bit rude to call them filthy. They're almost cute in a weird way. I know they are annoying, but keep your wits about you. They are only rats. I'm not freaking out here. You seem to be the one who is most concerned about them calling them filthy thieving rats. I haven't said a word against them yet. Anyway, if you spread your bait near their nest, they may share their store of treasure with you. Why don't you try it? Well, I'm not really going to do it. I don't really give a damn. Their store of treasure is essentially the rupees that they steal. So yeah, as interesting as that is, I think I have enough rupees for now. So an interesting thing that you need to do here, and I don't know if you necessarily need to do what I'm about to do to... Oh my god, you're kidding me. I would rather not lose all my rupees here. But anyway, I need to pick this up and... No, go away. God, these guys are a lot more aggressive in this game. Okay, you aren't dropping a single rupee, but yeah, a good thing you can do is just throw that, and then light that on fire. You might actually be able to climb the ladder with it whilst it's on fire. Okay, you need to stop that, mate. You are such a prick. Oh my god, they're a lot more aggressive in this game, I will mention. Let's... Maybe I won't bother killing you. Anyway, I will mention that once again, this is a chest that you need to open. I'm quite sure that there is a key inside here. At least I believe so. Yes, there is. So yeah, make sure you get this chest as well. It will be important. Please stop it! I have to ask you to just stop doing that. Like, it's really terrible. I'm not used to dealing with these rats like this. I mean, maybe they'll hit you once, but they've hit me 3 times now, I think. It's really starting to frustrate me. But anyway, we're about to... Oh, okay. Isn't that a little bit... What the hell? Oh no, this isn't the staircase that I was thinking of. Okay, fair enough. I thought we were about to come to the mini-boss, but we're not. This is also a key that we need. Make sure you get that as well. But yeah, I would like to kill this bird in such a way that I can pick up its item, which I'm not going to be able to do. If you can see, it's actually dropping a golden feather every single time we kill it. And those feathers are actually quite useful, but because we're killing it in the position where it's actually flying in the air and we can't really access its bloody feather, it's just falling into oblivion, basically. Oh, I keep hitting the walls. So let's pick this up, light this on fire. Now we don't necessarily need to do this, but it is a nice idea just so this room's lit up, I suppose. Now I actually did mean to attack, but I should have been pressing the bloody A button. Pressing the B button while using that just throws the damn thing. It makes sense to use the B button because the B button is to attack, but when you actually have the weapon picked up, you do need to actually swing with it with A, not B. It's very counterintuitive. I do hate this situation where I'm constantly getting confused between the A and the B button in this game. I literally just relit it. What are you doing? Bloody game. See, and then I pressed A to throw, but that's... I'm completely getting confused and like not pressing the right things at all. It's really quite annoying. Like I said, I'll get used to it eventually, but you have to understand that inside of me, I have ingrained within me, like, just habits from long ago. I mean, but at the same time, I will mention that I'm pretty sure that the idea of, oh god, I need to drop that before it blows me up as well. I just needed to pick the right button to drop it, but I'm pretty sure the relationship between the A and the B button in regards to picking up items, like, well, not items, but weapons, like actually picking up weapons from monsters and attacking with them, I'm pretty sure that hasn't changed since the GameCube version, so I think it's just me being silly, to be honest. But anyway, let's go and attack you. I will mention that there are a few enemies that are kind of hiding in this area. It's a good thing to mention. There are a few of them around. And I also should mention that you cannot leave this room until you kill all of them. So yeah, there are hidden enemies, and they literally force you to kill all enemies in the room before you can actually progress. So it like gets to the point where, like, when you come through here for the first time, you're like, why can't I leave this room? It's because there are actually enemies hiding in the pots. Now, they are in a designated position in the pots. They do not change, like, location. I think there are only 2 of them hiding in pots. I'm just destroying these to see if I can get rupees. The next person is actually hiding in a pot that's on that ledge up there. So let's go up there and go and kill him, shall we? I'm quite sure that there's only 2 hiding in pots. I could be wrong. Don't believe any of these pots have people in them. And by people, I mean moblins, you know. Anyway, let's do that. Oh, what? Really? I'm pretty sure that in the original game there was one hiding there. Very bizarre. Maybe there's one... Maybe it's this one here. Maybe I'm getting confused. Yeah, I must have been getting confused. Well, at least I got a joy pendant out of that. Either that has changed in the HD version, which would be a pretty bizarre thing to change. They haven't really changed much about it. They haven't changed much about this dungeon. Anyway, they haven't changed much about this dungeon, so it would be strange to change that, of all things. Just one position of an enemy in a pot hiding in a room. So it's probably just my memory failing me, probably. See, that is the problem. Sometimes you just don't know if it's something that's changed or just something that you've forgotten. So yeah. I will mention that it is the best case scenario not to hit these guys with that pot, or to attack them with your sword normally. You want to actually aim for that shining A button, because that shining A button, I will mention, will allow you to kill them in one hit, because if you attack them they actually roll backwards, and when they roll backwards they fall into the lava, and they are pretty much not concerned by the lava whatsoever, so it's really not ideal for you, basically. Now we'll jump here and continue on. So I mean, once you know how to go through all of the dungeons, you will be able to get through them very fast, which is the easy aspect to this game, I suppose. The dungeons are very short. They only take about a single video to get through, and by, you know, get through I mean kill the boss as well, like finish the entire dungeon off. It only takes about 20 minutes, so that's pretty much one single video. Whereas, are you for real? Cannot speak apparently, which is just great. Anyway, that is the final return pot. So many flashes of lightning outside, but I have yet to experience rain today. That would be lovely. It was 27 bloody degrees Celsius today. I would love some rain, but it's just not coming. It's all distant kind of thunder, and it's making me upset. There is the great dragon spirit Valu, and he seems quite unimpressed at the moment for reasons that we will soon find out. Or soon discover, however you want to say that. So in here is actually the mini-boss. These two guys here are not the only ones that we are fighting for this mini-boss fight, I will mention. There are a few enemies that we do have to fight, I think 4 in total, or maybe 3. I'm not too sure. So I know that you've got these two here, but there will be another one that will appear momentarily, once we've killed this guy as well. Don't do that, you asshole. Don't worry, my friend, damsel in distress. Looks like only one is dropped. Okay, so it's 3 enemies, not 4. I was thinking possibly 2 of these giant pigs would have been dropped down, but no, only 1. I will mention that to deal with these guys you need to alternate your attacks. So with their spear they will be able to defend against one particular type of attack. So if you're doing a vertical attack and they're blocking your vertical attack, just go for a thrusting attack. If they're blocking a thrusting attack, maybe try for a jump attack or a vertical attack, you know, or a horizontal slash, whatever you want to do. It just really depends. All you need to do, basically, if they are blocking your attack, is change your attack type and you will be able to hit them. Don't try the same attack repeatedly, it will not work. So that was a skull necklace that we just picked up there. They're quite useful for collecting. I can't really remember what you actually do with skull necklaces. I don't know if there's a person who likes to collect them or what. Like, you can give them to them and they'll be like, oh, thanks for that, I'm going to give you a reward if you give me such and such many, like such and such number of skull necklaces, but yeah, I really can't remember. Link, you came to rescue me. Oh, thank you. I have to tell you what I found out. This is terrible. Some creature is doing awful things to the Great Valu's tail. That's why he's so angry. The Great Valu's tail hangs down into the room right below here. There's got to be something in there. I wonder what it is. Could it possibly be the boss of this area? I don't know why I can't talk right now. It's very strange. I can't really articulate my words. I don't know what's going on. Anyway, I wonder if those mean monsters who captured me have something to do with it. Most likely. We've got to do something, now, before it's too late. I'll go and tell everyone what's happening. Here, Link, use this to get out of here. It's what I used to get this far. is a device we Rito used before we evolved wings. Was it used or used to... I don't know. Anyway, you got the grappling hook. This was an item used by the Rito people before they had wings. See, it's used. Why is it past tense? I don't know. Here, Link, climb up on that little ledge there so I could show you something. See, why does she need to use a grappling hook to get this far if she can fly? I don't really understand.